Good evening, y'all, man. Welcome to Toxic Masculinity. I am your host, Captain Sakawar. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost, shout out to all the brothers and sisters that's joining me, man. If I could get y'all to like, share, subscribe, let everybody know we live, man. Toxic Masculinity. We do it a big every Friday night, about 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Usually run about 90 minutes, you know what I'm saying? I got a good show for y'all tonight. Toxic Masculinity with Captain Sakawar, episode 19, Do You Believe in Love? So without any further ado, we're going to go ahead and get right into it. Like I said, first and foremost, I want to thank y'all for joining me. I'm your host, Captain Sakawar, and we've arrived here at episode 19, Do You Believe in Love? I'd like to start off tonight's show, like we do every week, with the following disclaimer. Toxic Masculinity is a man's show, designed specifically to enlighten, educate, and elevate men in their planning and approach when it comes to establishing, sustaining, and maintaining meaningful relationships with women in the modern day. That's not to say that there's nothing a woman cannot or will not gain from tuning in, but understand that everything expressed here will always be based in logic and truth. Yes, logic and truth. Not an emotion, not a feeling, not some desire or uncontrollable urge that cannot be explained, but logic and truth. And right now in this country, in this society, in the world at large, there's a war being waged against logic and truth. It's a war that expands beyond political affiliation, racial demographics, gender identity, and social status. For some of us, this war is blatant and obvious to see, but unfortunately, far too many are becoming casualties to their own ignorance. That is why this platform will be utilized to pull back the curtain, settle the dust, and clear up the fog so that it can be made apparent to us all just precisely what we're battling against. And what does all this mean? It means we're going to keep it all the way 1,000 here. Raw, uncut, filtered but not watered down, straight with no chaser. If you can't take the heat, now's the time to get out the kitchen. And if you cannot swim, you are bound to drizzle. And never forget that while pressure burst pipes, it's also what takes coal and turns it into diamonds. So tonight, as the title suggests, man, we're going to discuss the power of belief when it comes to love. We're living in an age, and we're living in a time in this society where there's a lot that's being pushed and promoted concerning the power that we have in our minds, the power to go within ourselves to unlock untapped potential. You know what I'm saying? When it comes, you want to be successful in business, they say, you got to put your mind to it. You know what I'm saying? If you focus yourself and you apply yourself, then you can accomplish anything. You know what I'm saying? When they talk about the 5 P's, proper preparation, proper practice, or proper preparation and practice precedes success, or something like that. You understand? There's a lot of different philosophies that exist when it comes to, manifesting things in our lives. That's another term they like to use today. Well, how much of what we think about ourselves and about love plays out in our relationships? Like, with this show, what I endeavor to do is to give men the ability, to assume that leadership position and role when it comes to maintaining their relationships. I said the 5 keys or 5 pinnacles to manhood was leadership, guidance, protection, security, and reassurance. Well, in order for a man to be able to possess those 5 qualities, it takes for him first to be able to apply those 5 qualities to himself. You understand? In order for a man to be able to lead, guide, protect, secure, and reassure anyone else, he has to be able to do that for himself. And what that takes is for a man to do a lot of work, upstairs, a lot of work in your mind in order to make sure that when you look in the mirror, that you are satisfied and pleased with what it is that's reflecting back at you. Even if you aren't all the way the man that you will be one day, you should be in some facet satisfied with the progress you're making. You should be able to recognize, your negatives or recognize your weaknesses and then strategize and come up with a plan in order to be able to overcome those things so that you can be a better man. Well, a lot of what we think about ourselves and a lot of how we view ourselves shows in the type of women that we attract into our lives. And we're living in a time where there are a lot of women out here. Again, I speak a lot about, the independent woman. Speak about the sister who's ambitious, the sister who's educated, sister who makes her own money. Because for a lot of us fellas, those are the types of women that we're encountering. It's not too difficult for most of us men to deal with a woman who has low self-esteem, to deal with a woman who's not sure of herself, to deal with a woman who knows that she needs a man. Those types of women are somewhat easy to secure. But even dealing with that type of woman, you have to be sure with who you are as a man in order to be able to lead, guide, protect, secure, and reassure, even that kind of woman. But when it comes to dealing with sisters who, what we might term high class women, you as a man have to be confident, have to be sure in your worth and your value that you bring to the table. And so when it comes to love for many of us is an abstract idea. You go to 5 different, men, you ask them, what is love to you? You may get 5 different answers. You go to 5 different women, you ask them, well, what is love? And you may get 5 different answers. And so what we have to do is think about where does the idea of love for most of us come from? You understand? And a lot of our perception or a lot of what we think about love comes from the society, comes from the influences that are around us. And I remember when I was young growing up, love to me was Frankie Beverly and Maze's Golden Time of Day. You know what I'm saying? Love to me was the Spinners' I'll Be Around. Love to me was, the Isley Brothers and them old school cats that used to sing about love, you know what I'm saying? And that love was really an idea. That love wasn't, it was that love that we grew up on was just as abstract as the love that many of us have in our minds today. But the reason why I said that is because if you think to yourself, where does your idea of love come from? Where is your perception of love come from? Then it may help you understand why the love that you have or you don't have in your life is so dysfunctional or is so fractured or so hard to find. You know what I'm saying? So for me, like I said, growing up, the type of my idea of love came from the music. You know what I'm saying? My idea of love came from them oldies and that old school music. And what I understood as I became a man is that those brothers in those songs were really singing about ideas. They weren't singing about a woman's body shape. They weren't singing about, a woman's education. They weren't singing about the intimate details of what happens in the bedroom. But in the time that we're living in now, a lot of what we perceive or a lot of what's being pushed on us in this society in terms of love, it's physical. It's carnal. It's the way a woman's, looks. It's the way her body is shaped. It's the way she feels on the inside. And because for a lot of us, our idea of love is something that's physical, we don't know how to really connect and build on those deeper levels, which is where love comes from. You know what I'm saying? Again, love isn't a feeling. Love isn't, something that's inside of you. Love is your actions. Love is what you do. And how can you love someone if the only expression that you have is something that's physical? Is what you physically can do to their body. You know what I'm saying? the love that our parents and our grandparents generation had, their love was responsibility. You know, love was a duty. Love was I chose you and you're mine, and we whether we got married, we started a family together, and because of that, I'll never leave you. Because of that, we're gonna work through our problems. Because of that, we're gonna have to fight to maintain what we have. You know what I'm saying? And then that love was deeper than the love that a lot of us are searching for today. Or maybe some of us are searching for that kind of love, but we don't know how to get it because in our minds, that's not what we think about when we think about love. For so many of us, when we think about love, we think about feeling good. We think about love, we think about what goes on in the bedroom. But outside of the physical connection, outside of what we can do to one another, what's love? You know? And in the society today, we've gotten so far away from the reality that, you know, love is warfare. Love is battling. Love is fighting. Love is, you know, getting through the difficult times. And if all you think about when it comes to love is just what's physical, what you do in the bedroom, then how can you get beyond what goes on in the bedroom? Shout out to Shay Williams. She said, proper preparation prevents poor performance. That's what it is. The 5 P's. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Well, apply that to your sex life. Apply that to building relationships. Apply that to when you go out and meet somebody and you call yourself going to build with them. How can you build a relationship? How can you build a forever if you don't properly prepare? How do you properly prepare if you don't know what it is that you're getting yourself into? How can you know what you're getting yourself into if you don't have a clear idea of what love is? And so when you think about it that way, when you think about the mental work that it takes in order to attract love into your life, you got to ask yourself, do you believe in love? A lot of us do not believe in love. And maybe it's because of the times we're living in. Maybe it's because we look at society and we see how carnal or how physically based everything is, and we know that within ourselves we're more than that. We know that within ourselves it takes more than just what happens in the bedroom in order to make us happy. But because it's so difficult meeting somebody on that level, we just give up. And a lot of us have given up on love. A lot of us have given up on the idea of being with someone forever. A lot of us have given up on the idea of loyalty. And because you've given up, in your mind, you go into relationships expecting to be let down. You meet someone expecting for them, you know, to deceive you, expecting for them to lie to you. Hell, because you've been deceived and you've been lied to, you can't beat them, join them. A lot of us have taken on these demons. A lot of us have taken on, you know, the carnal spirit of the society because it's so hard to find what we're looking for. But guess what? When you go out there to try to be successful in the world, you don't give up because, you know, the job you got only paying you so much. Yeah, you'll go back to school, you'll go to college, yeah, you'll quit that job and go find another job. You'll do whatever it takes in order for you to move forward. You'll do whatever it takes in order for you to rise up that ladder. But then we quit when it comes to our relationships. We quit when it comes to finding and attracting that thing into our life that we know that we deserve. You understand? And so what I want for everybody to do what we want to do with tonight's show is make yourself conscious of that. Make yourself aware of the power that you have to attract what you deserve into your life. If you want that forever kind of love, if you want somebody that you can be with and that you can grow with, then guess what you're going to have to do? Proper preparation prevents poor performance. But that proper preparation starts in your mind. It starts with you telling yourself, you know what? I'm not going to settle. I know what I deserve. I know what I'm worth, and I'm going to get it. So let's say you're a man. Let's say you're a man that's already in a relationship with a woman. You've been with this woman for some time and you're not happy. Then guess what? You want to know why you're not happy? Because you didn't properly prepare. And now you're performing poorly. This relationship is falling apart. Things are not working out. Do you just quit on the relationship? Do you just say, you know what, man, this ain't working, I'm out? No, you do not. You say to yourself, you know what, I want this to work. Hell, I chose this woman, she chose me, we've been together, we've been going through it. Hell, there's ups and downs, and maybe you've been down for a long time. You got to prepare yourself up here. You got to put it in your mind that I'm going to make this work. Put it in your mind that we can be together forever. Put it in your mind that there is a way that we can salvage this. Now what? Now you got to go planning it. For a lot of you fellas, the reason why your relationship is in the condition that it's in is because you did not keep the same energy that you came into that relationship with. What you got to do is recognize the role that you played in your relationship not working and things being dysfunctional, and say to yourself, you know what, man, I need to get back to where I was. I need to regroup. I need to find a way, you know what I'm saying, to reignite that spark or to rekindle that flame. And hell, you may have some baggage with this woman, may have some things that y'all been through, and it's difficult for you to get yourself back to that place. But listen, you're going to have to do it. You understand? You're going to have to push through the negativity, push through the thoughts of, I can't. You know what I'm saying? Or push through the fear of failing. The fear of, what if I go through all of this work to try and, what if I go through everything I got to go through to try and make it work and it still fail anyway? Well then damn, it was going to fail, brother. But at least you could try. You know what I'm saying? Get back to that space in your mind that you were in when you first got with that woman. Start to do things like you did in the beginning. Start to woo her, man. Start to, you know what I'm saying, reestablish that connection. You know what I'm saying? Hey, even if you got the game up, look at it like it's a challenge. Hell, I want to make this thing work. It's falling apart. Let me see what I can do. Let me see if I can salvage this. And listen, you feel like you're in a relationship as a man that's not working for you. The very least you could do is use the situation for some experience. Hell, because don't think that, as a man, don't think if you're in a relationship that's failing that you should just quit that relationship and go and start a new one. Because a relationship failing means that both of y'all aren't doing the work necessary in order to make it work. Don't deceive yourself into believing that if you throw this relationship away, throw this woman away, that you'll go get another one and it's not going to end up in the same situation. Look at yourself and take responsibility for the role that you played and where things are right now. And if you know that you ain't put your best foot forward, you know that you didn't properly prepare, well then guess what? Take the time to try and make this one work. Take the time to try and fix this relationship. Don't just run and jump leave that woman and think you're going to jump into a relationship with another one and expect it to work. A lot of you brothers out there, you don't realize that you've never had a successful relationship. And it's your fault. Why? Because you never properly prepared for a relationship. Well, if you're in one now, don't think that you'll throw this one away and then just start over. Because that's not how you achieve greatness. That's not how you establish a skill. And maintaining a relationship is a skill. You understand? Like I said, a lot of brothers have skill in getting a woman. You have skill in starting a relationship, but you don't have no skill in maintaining one. You don't have no skill in growing with someone over a period of time. But if you've been with a woman, brother, and she done rolled it out with you so far, well then fight to fix this relationship. And hell, if in the end you fail and you can't fix the relationship, at least you got some practice. At least you tried. You can try some things, trial and error. You understand? And do it in the spirit of, I'm trying to save this relationship. I'm trying to make it last. But don't just give up. Because giving up, you'll never be able to accomplish anything in life. You know what I'm saying? Think about the people who are successful at whatever they do. LeBron James, you know what I'm saying? LeBron James been playing basketball for a long time. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sure that there was a point in his game when he started out shooting jump shots. He couldn't hit the jumper. Did he just give up on jump shots and say, you know what, man, I'm just going to dunk the ball every time? No. He was in the gym. He was practicing. He was working out. He was hiring coaches. You know what I'm saying? He was lifting weights. He was doing all the things that he could in order to tailor his game to where now he got a good jump shot. Well, guess what? You got to do that with relationships. You got to do that when it comes to women. You got a woman and it's not working, well, guess what? You got to get in the gym, man. You got to practice. You got to tailor your conversation, tailor your actions, tailor your love with this woman in order to turn it into a successful relationship. But if you just think you're going to scrap the woman, leave the woman, and just go start over somewhere else and you're going to have a different result, you're playing yourself. It's in your mind. You know what I'm saying? Do you believe in love? Do you believe in forever? Let's say you a brother, you just getting out of a relationship. So you was in a relationship and it didn't work out. Things failed. You want to look back at that relationship and look back at, what the role that you played in that working. Hell, maybe the role you played was you didn't pick the right woman. You know what I'm saying? That's not proper preparation. Maybe you didn't have your mind set on what, you wanted. Poor preparation. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you was out there dating, having a good time. You wouldn't really want no relationship. But then here you go, you caught feelings, you fell in love. Poor preparation. You know what I'm saying? Look at your situations and look at the past and analyze the role that you played and things not working out, and then say, you know what, man, I want a relationship to work. I want a woman that I can build with. I want someone who I can be with forever. Well, then guess what? You go out here and you meeting women. Don't jump into anything quickly. Yeah, you done did that your whole life. Met women and did everything you could to try to have sex with them. How about this time you meet a woman and you don't have sex with her? This time you meet a woman and you really get to know her and you're honest with her from the beginning and letting her know, listen, hey, you know what I'm saying? I'm looking for somebody that I can be with forever. I'm looking for something that I could, grow and establish. I ain't rushing nothing, you know what I'm saying? But I just want my intentions to be known. And then you go to build with that woman, get to know her, find out, how she think about life or what's her past experiences and relationships been. Here's one thing you can know as a man. If you meet a woman, she's single, and guess what? She don't have no success maintaining a relationship. She don't have no success in establishing forever. If she did, she'd be with somebody. Unless it's a case where she's a widow or something tragic happened to the man she was with. But that's very, very rare. 99% of these women that's single, because they don't know how to make a relationship work. Well, guess what? You got to say to yourself, I'm gonna show this woman how to make a relationship work. I'm gonna lead her, and together we're gonna have a relationship that works. You know what I'm saying? But what you got to do, proper preparation prevents poor performance. Guess what? You can't ignore the red flags. You can't overlook the things that you know you're gonna grow tired of. You can't overlook the problems and the issues just because you want love. Again, love isn't a feeling. That thing you think, that feeling you want to feel, that ain't love, brother. That thing that you ignore the red flags for, that ain't love. You understand? That's lust. That's you wanting this woman so bad physically, or wanting to feel like you're deceiving yourself. You want to feel something so bad that you're ignoring all the red flags. That's not love, man. You understand? That's not being true to yourself. You understand? And all of these are things that you do internally. A red flag is something that you see and you make a decision. Am I going to address this red flag or am I going to let it slide? Well, guess what? If you letting things slide up here, you know what I'm saying, then you're not preparing yourself. If you're not addressing issues and problems that you see before you get physical with a woman, then guess what? You're not, you know what I'm saying, properly planning. You have to go into, if you want to have a successful relationship, you have to go into it understanding the work that it takes, you know what I'm saying, to be successful. Understanding, the stress and the fighting and the difficulty. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing, again, depending on how you may have been raised or what your influences were. A lot of us being raised by single parents, we've never seen how hard it is to make a relationship work. We never seen a man and a woman struggling every day to be together. Marriage and being together forever, that's not an easy thing to do. But if all you're thinking about is the physical pleasure that you can get out of having sex with somebody, or the feeling that you're going to get, that feeling of love, then you're not going to deal with all of the mental work that it takes in order to be able to build something. You know what I'm saying? You a man, you out here and you desire to have that type of forever love. You desire to have a relationship with a woman where you all are dedicated and it's a duty and it's a responsibility and it's not just something you're doing because it makes you feel good and you realize that, hey, it ain't gonna always feel good. We aren't gonna always be happy. It isn't gonna always be, you know what I'm saying, the golden time of day. Then guess what? You'll prepare for those difficult times. You know what I'm saying? And how do you prepare for difficult times in a relationship? The times when it's not difficult, you gotta be, you know, pouring into one another. You know what I'm saying? Reinforcing the foundation that you've established. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, you know what I'm saying? You meet a woman, you gotta get to know a man and know that you two, you know, you gotta learn to like each other. Know that, you know, hey, I really like this woman. I like to be around her, I like her energy, I like her conversation. So that guess what? The times when you can't stand her and you don't want to be around her, you can remember, hold on, man, I know we mad at each other, but I really like it. I love this woman. You know what I'm saying? You gotta, the times that you're not beefing, or the peace times, you gotta be building up so that when the wartime comes, you got enough to weather the storm. You know what I'm saying? And again, it goes back to the 5 P's. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. You know what I'm saying? Alright, so you prepare in the beginning, being honest. You know what I'm saying? Letting your intentions be known. Not ignoring the red flags. Dealing with the issues and the problems that you see before you lay down with a woman. And guess what? Now you progress in the dating phase and you decide that you're going to be committed to one another and you decide that you're going to lay this woman down. You've already built up enough, you know, of the appreciation and the like you have for one another so that when you decide to get physical and now you enter into a relationship and you start to experience those ups and downs, you done already laid a solid foundation that's built on responsibility, built on duty, built on, you know, I don't even want to say a promise, you know what I'm saying, but a mutual understanding that when these difficult and these tough times come, we're going to fight and we're going to stay together and we're going to endure and we're going to get through it. Well, then when those tough times come, you can just remind your woman, hey, we knew this was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we're going to get through this. It's going to be all right. And then you battle through it and fight through it. And for every relationship, what you might have to battle through, what you might have to fight through, going to take on a different meaning. But if you did the work on the front end and properly preparing when you started to engage with this woman, when those tough times come, then guess what? You'll be able to get through it. You know what I'm saying? You'll be able to weather those storms. And the more storms that you weather with a woman, the more experience you have with one another getting through things, the more it'll encourage you and empower you to keep pushing. You know what I'm saying? The more you'll believe, the more you're able to go through with a woman and y'all stay together, then the more you'll believe that, hey, we can really do this thing forever. In the beginning, it's going to start off with just a, you know, hey man, I think we could do it. Then that tough time going to come now, that storm going to come and y'all ride out together and fight and argue and disagree and come back together and make up and keep it pushing. You be like, damn, she really down, man. She about what she say she about. That's going to give you what? More encouragement. You know what I'm saying? And you back in the peacetime again, you building, you know what I'm saying? Growing with one another, encouraging one another. You know what I'm saying? You pouring into her. Again, if you a man and you leading, guiding, securing, protecting, reassuring, listen, you constantly pushing your woman to be better. You constantly finding ways to compliment her, finding ways, you know what I'm saying, to tell her that you're proud of her and trying to get her to realize more of her potential. And the more that she's able to accomplish those little goals and the more that she's able to grow and the more that y'all able to build with one another, the more, you know, y'all gonna feed off each other, the more satisfaction you'll have, the more you'll get out of one another. So that when that next tough time comes, listen, we just been through all of this wonderful building. We just did all of these things that we've accomplished together. We ain't gonna let this thing break us up. We ain't gonna let this thing stop us. And guess what? You get through that storm and then you're stronger. You come back together and you're stronger and you believe a little bit more. And you keep pushing and you keep fighting and you keep building and you keep loving. And before you know it, 2 years done pass. Or before you know it, 6 months done pass. Hell, that's the first 6 months. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't have idea in your mind in the beginning that I'm gonna love this woman, she gonna love me, and we're gonna be together forever. If you don't establish that as your foundation, then the slightest difficulty comes, you'll run from one another. The slightest hardship will befall you, and you'll turn your back on one another. Forget about it if your relationship is just established on what's physical. The second that you get it in and she don't get what she need, and then she gone. Or the second you call her and you want something and she don't come through, oh man, she faking. She must have another nigga. And that's what these relationships today about. Because a lot of people, again, they don't believe in love. They don't have it in their mind that thing that we grew up hearing about. Now, listen, I'm an 80s baby, right? Some of y'all 90s babies. Y'all didn't hear, I don't know what y'all heard growing up. I don't know what y'all idea of love was, but if you came up, God forbid you was born in what? 2000. You was born in 2000. You 21 now. Listen, Lord be with you, because I don't know what your idea of love was. You grew up on, Love in the Club and Lil Jon and Usher, Lover and Friend. I don't know what you grew up on. It's rough on y'all, this new generation, but those of us, them 80s babies, you know what I'm saying, maybe even the early 90s, you know what I'm saying, you had parents and grandparents that played that good old love music, that music that was idealistic when it came to love, you know what I'm saying? But now we're living in a generation, we're living in a time where everything is just, it's all about what's physical, man. It's all about the carnality, you know what I'm saying? And that's the point of it. They don't want that forever kind of love. They don't want those relationships. They don't want us to have those relationships that last. Because why? If you got relationships that last, you got people staying together forever, then you got strong families. You got strong families, then guess what? You got children that's being raised properly. Children that's getting instilled, getting some values instilled in them. Children that's, putting something on their mind that's deeper than just what's physical. And when you got parents who are together, men and women fighting to love one another, and they're having children and they're teaching their children, and their children are able to see their parents fighting to love one another, well then those children will grow up and they will what? They'll rise above the carnality of the culture. They'll rise above all of the, the propaganda and the programming that's coming from the TV and the radio to tell them that the only thing worth chasing in life is a good feeling. It's deeper than that, you know what I'm saying? And again, love is not about a feeling, man. Love is not like getting high. Love is not like, taking a shot of alcohol. Love is like running a marathon. Love is like, it's like, shooting 100 threes in a row. Love is like, maxing out 425 on the bench press. Love ain't something you just wake up and do one day. Love is something you gotta train for. Love is something you gotta fight for. Love is something that you gonna have to, put dedication, time, and effort and energy into. And you can't have love unless in your mind you're prepared for what it takes in order to be able to get it. So for a lot of us out there, you gotta ask yourself, do you believe in love? If you say the answer is yes, then you have to ask yourself, well, what is love to me? Where do I get my idea of love from? Once you analyze where you got the idea of love from, then you gotta say to yourself, well, what do I have to do to get it? It doesn't just fall out the sky. It's not magic. It ain't something that just lands in your lap. You don't go to the strip club and find forever love. It just don't happen. You don't meet a woman online and y'all had sex the first time you meet and then you got forever love. That's not how it happens. Love is something that has to be built. Love is something that has to be toiled over. Love is something that you have to go to war for. You understand? Love is something that can be extremely powerful and positive in your life, or it can be devastatingly evil. And if you do not properly prepare, then you will not prevent poor performance. So that's what these lessons in toxic masculinity is all about. It's about getting us to the place as men where we know how to prepare for these kinds of relationships, where we know what to look for. You know what I'm saying? And really, for every man, what you want to look for might be different, depending on what's in your mind, what you want. You know what I'm saying? Now, I've established in this show what love is. You know what I'm saying? And the logic and the truth that we deal with here on toxic masculinity, it comes from the source of all wisdom and knowledge and understanding, which is the Bible. You understand? So love as an action, love is how you treat someone, what you do and won't do to them. You know what I'm saying? The lengths that you allow yourself to go to. Love has boundaries. You understand? And in righteousness, love is doing what the Most High said to do, treating someone the way that they deserve to be treated. And as a man, leadership, guidance, protection, security, reassurance, that's what you owe a woman if you love her. And that's what you'll give her. But if you don't, if you're not able to give a woman that, then you don't really love her. If you don't think it's necessary to give a woman that, well, I don't know what your love looks like. But that's what love looks like. Leadership, guidance, protection, security, reassurance. And because as a man, if you provide that to a woman, then she has to reciprocate it. And that reciprocation should be non-negotiable. You know what I'm saying? As a man, if you believe in love, then you won't compromise. Then you won't bend. You won't fold. You'll go for what you deserve. You'll go for what's right. You know what I'm saying? And you'll put in the work to become the man that can provide a woman what she needs. You give her what she needs. She reciprocates that. You build and you grow. You fight, you war, you love together. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Take that and apply it to your relationships. Apply it to the love that you want in your life, and you'll get it. But it starts up here. With that, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with the second segment. For you brothers and sisters tuning in, man, if anybody want to join me on the Zoom, got any questions, got any comments, y'all come on and chime in. You live on Toxic Masculinity with Captain Sakawar. Sakawar, y'all live on Toxic Masculinity. Again, we're at episode 19, Do You Believe in Love? You understand? And so, again, like we talked about a lot of the reason why we can't find the type of love that we feel like we deserve or that we're entitled to is because we don't believe that it exists. And if you don't believe that what it is that you're searching for, or what it is that you deserve exists, then of course you'll never be able to attract it into your life. You know what I'm saying? A lot of what's in your mind determines the way that you go out to achieve the goals you have for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And if you're a man and you desire to have a woman who will be with you forever, then you will go out into the world with the intentions on finding someone that you can be with forever. And if you're honest with yourself, there are things that you know you don't want to deal with forever. So when you go out and you meet women, you'll say, listen, man, I don't believe that I can be with this woman forever. And if you don't believe you can be with a woman forever, then don't start nothing, won't be nothing. Problem is, too many of us don't know how to just, turn down an opportunity now to hold out for something greater down the road. And if you don't have that mentality, in any aspect of your life, then you'll never be able to have the things that you truly desire or that are really worth your while. Imagine you going out, you going to apply to college. I mean, anything, man. You're going to get a job. You go put in 5 applications. And each job may have a different pay scale, but you qualify for all of them. And you just take the first job that comes to you. Well, damn. You ain't going to wait to see if these other jobs might come through. You're just going to jump at the first opportunity that presents itself. You'll get nowhere in life that way. Sometimes in life, you got to turn some things down knowing that you deserve better, knowing that there's something greater out there for you. But that comes from belief. Hey, man, I know it's something better for me. So I'm not going to just jump at this first thing. I'm going to wait it out. Hey, I pass up. Listen, I appreciate the offer, but no thank you. I'm going to go in a different direction. Why can't you do that with women? Why can't you do that with a woman saying that she wants to be with you? You ain't got no discipline because you ain't focused on the big picture. You ain't focused on the end goal. And again, you know what I'm saying? Proper planning prevents poor performance. A lot of you are performing poorly in relationships because you ain't planning. Performing poorly in relationships because you're not, staying focused on the main goal. If the goal is forever, you can't ignore them red flags. If the goal is forever, then you can't overlook these problems. You gotta say, you know what? This would be nice. I like the idea of it, but I'm gonna hold off for something greater. But that comes from having an idea in your mind of what it is that you want, what it is that you deserve, and what it is that you're not willing to settle for. Right, so with tonight's show, some of these topics that I got lined up, they somewhat play into the topic that we discussed tonight, but really, I believe it's necessary to just, again, in this time that we're living in, there's a lot that's being pushed on us concerning, manifesting things in your life and attracting the things that you want. But it's not easy for us to see those things in this society. It's not easy for us to see those things in this world that we're in. And so with these couple stories, it's going to show you the end result of not planning properly. When you don't plan properly, what we say? You get poor performance. So a lot of us have to be real with our preparation and our planning, and then understanding why things don't work out for us the way that they're supposed to. All right, so first we're going to go into this brother, NFL superstar Deshaun Watson, right? This brother Deshaun Watson is an NFL superstar, and right now he has a list of accusers that are 9 women long. You understand? Now, what are these women who are bringing accusations against Deshaun Watson alleging? These women are alleging that the NFL quarterback Deshaun Watson has been sexually assaulting them. You understand? Now, I'm going to read through the story, and after the story, we can have a candid conversation about what it is that Deshaun Watson has done and where it is that he went wrong. So, boom, it says, the attorney representing the 3 women who have filed sexual misconduct lawsuits against Deshaun Watson now says the total number of accusers has ballooned to 9. The Busby law firm has now been hired by 9 women to bring cases against Deshaun Watson, noting the allegations are similar. We have filed 3 lawsuits, and as we complete our due diligence, we'll file the remaining ones in due course. It says the several others, and Busby says the law firm is talking with several others and praises his clients as brave women who are willing to come forward and be heard. It says the allegations against NFL superstar Deshaun Watson are piling up. A third female masseuse has filed a lawsuit against the quarterback, claiming he forced her to perform oral sex during a December 2020 encounter. The woman who filed her suit under the pseudonym Jane Doe to protect her identity claims Watson reached out on Instagram to set up a session. The woman says the two agreed to an appointment at a Houston, Texas office building on December 20th, 2020 at 10 a.m. Jane Doe, who claims she was newly engaged and had just graduated chiropractic school, says her mother dropped her off at the job and then she met Watson, and that's when she claims things immediately got weird. The woman says Watson insisted she focus on massaging his inner thighs and inner glutes while repeatedly telling her he's a professional football player. She claims Watson got more aggressive and eventually coerced her to move her mouth toward his penis, forcing her to perform oral sex on him. The woman claims she never consented to the sex act and actually blacked out for a few minutes from the fear. In her suit, the woman claims she was so terrified she defecated on herself. The woman says Watson got up, got dressed, and left as if nothing happened. The woman is suing for sexual assault, civil assault, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. It's the third lawsuit filed against Watson by attorney Tony Busby, who claims there are at least 3 other women taking legal action against the Houston player. Now, okay, let me read Deshaun Watson's response. Right, this is on his Instagram page. Let me go ahead and pull it up. I'm tripping. Real quick, let me see something. I think I've been pressing the wrong button the whole time. Yeah, I have. I'm tripping, y'all. Hold on, let me see something. Alright, there we go. I've been pressing the wrong button. I thought I transitioned to, what's the name? My bad, y'all. Alright, so here's Deshaun Watson's response on Instagram, right? Deshaun Watson said, as a result of a social media post by a publicity-seeking plaintiff's lawyer, I recently became aware of a lawsuit that has apparently been filed against me. I have not yet seen the complaint, but I know this. I have never treated any woman with anything other than the utmost respect. The plaintiff's lawyer claims that this isn't about money, but before filing suit, he made a baseless six-figure settlement demand, which I quickly rejected. Unlike him, this isn't about money for me. It's about clearing my name, and I look forward to doing that. Right? So all of the women who are coming up with these allegations against Deshaun Watson are masseuses, which means they are massage therapists, right? And let me just say this. I don't know if Deshaun Watson has assaulted these women or not. But if you are a man and you're meeting women on Instagram, you're meeting women on social media, you're going to Craigslist to find private massage therapists and calling them and hiring them to come give you a massage, and then you having sex with them, you're tricking. You're buying prostitutes is what you're doing. You're not a player. If you have sex with the broad that give you a massage, you're not smooth. You're having sex with a hoe. Now, I don't know if Deshaun Watson did what these women are saying he did or not. But if Deshaun Watson met these women on Instagram and invited them over under the premise of getting a massage, and then he ended up having sex with them, he deserves every bit of what's coming his way right now. Because that's the consequences for tricking off, dealing in holes. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you, again, proper preparation prevents poor performance. Deshaun Watson didn't want to be betrayed by women. Then why would you choose women who live their life performing sex acts for money. These aren't women he had, relationships with. These aren't girlfriends of his. These are women he met on the internet and had sex with. What did you expect was gonna happen, bro? You think you just gonna go through life, tricking and nothing bad gonna happen to you? And you dabbling in the streets and you dabbling in the world of prostitution, you're dabbling in bringing evil onto yourself. You understand? And right now, there's a lot of women that are sex workers. And they think that being a sex worker that's an occupation now. I mean, it ain't nothing new. Being a sex worker or a prostitute ain't nothing new. But in this society, they're reestablishing it as a proper career choice for a woman. But guess what, brother? If you out there, you dealing with a woman that's a sex worker, then, her job is making people feel good. And what does that tell you? If her job is making people feel good physically, then, what attachment does she have to that? What loyalty does she have if, her life is about making someone feel good? How you gonna build with a woman like that? How you gonna trust someone like that? You can't. It's impossible. Because their life is not, they don't have any, try to find a way to put it besides saying you can't turn her into a housewife. You know what I'm saying? You got a woman that's a sex worker, brother. She dabbles in the world of pleasure. And so any pleasure that you get out of this woman, how do you differentiate between her doing her job, which pays her money, and her caring? And, anything she does meaning anything. You can't differentiate the two. Which means, how can anything she ever does for you have any meaning? If you could never know if she's doing this because that's what pays her bills, or she's doing this because she really cares about me. And that's just the problem is, Deshaun Watson ain't thinking about that while he paying some woman to, give him a happy ending. But if you pay a woman for a happy ending, brother, who knows what that happy ending can come back to you on. You Deshaun Watson, you an NFL player, man, making all that money. Why can't you just, meet a woman? And if you like to get massages, send your woman to massage school. Lead your woman. Listen, you like to be massaged, brother? Send your woman to massage school. Have her learn how to, be a masseuse. Encourage your woman, baby, that's some soft hands. You know what? I be working hard. I be working out and tired. I be needing to get massaged, man. You should go ahead and learn how to get a professional massages. And get your woman who you love, who gives you happy endings in life, to learn how to be a massage therapist so she can massage you and give you happy endings. Don't go out there buying prostitutes. Don't go buying hoes. Why? Because prostitutes and hoes ain't got no loyalty. Prostitutes and hoes do whatever for the money. I mean, I don't know what Deshaun Watson was I know what he was thinking. Deshaun Watson was thinking that, if he showed respect, if he was nice and gentle, if he was kind, if he tipped enough, that would excuse the evil of tricking. There's no excusing the evil of tricking. And you out there dealing with prostitutes and hoes, then you can fully expect for them to treat you just like a job. And what Deshaun Watson is going through, I feel sorry for the brother, you know what I'm saying? But he is suffering the consequences of dealing with hoes, man. And these cats think that they got this money and they think that they can, hide from what every other man goes through. You can't hide from that, man. You an athlete, brother. Find a professional woman who gives massages and hire her to do your massages, and go out there and if you know that you deserve to be massaged and rubbed down after your hard day of work, say, you know what, I'm going to find me a woman that's going to love me enough that's going to rub me down. I'm going to go out here, I'm going to meet me a woman, man. I'm going to meet me a woman, I'm going to have me a masseuse. And go out here and go meet you a woman that can give you a massage. Don't be going buying hoes, man. Deshaun Watson, every trick, every hoe that he done met on Instagram, that he done had come to a hotel room in the city he was in and get broke off a little piece, they all coming out now saying Deshaun Watson raped me. How do a man you come to massage him and he coerce a penis into your mouth? What is that? She said she blacked out from the oral sex that she was giving him out of fear? How do you even get... Okay, I don't even want to speculate on any of that. But Deshaun Watson has got to be at home right now realizing he played himself. He's got to be at home right now saying, you know what, man? My daddy told me I shouldn't have tricked off. My daddy told me don't be a trick. Somebody in his life told him at some point, hey, Deshaun, man, leave the hoes alone. He ain't want to listen. But let this be a lesson for all you brothers. Leave the hoes alone, man, because there ain't no loyalty with no hoe. You get with a broad, man, stop meeting women on the internet and thinking that you're going to have a happily ever after. Or you're going to be able to just get, you know what I'm saying? And it's evil if you think you're going to have sex with a woman and then never talk to her again. Or have sex with her and throw her away. Sometimes you can't throw them away. You try, and they'll pop back up on you, and that's what Deshaun Watson is going through right now. You understand? And it's it's a goddamn shame. All that money, and he tricking off with the nastiest of nasty hoes. Now, for the second story of the night, we're going to talk about the love affair or the supposed breakup between the rapper Quavo and this sister Saweetie. Now, I'm not real big on, what's popping in the mainstream with the relationships and stuff like that. But the brother Quavo was dating this sister Saweetie. I think Saweetie is I'm just going to say Sweetie. I ain't keeping saying this goddamn Saweetie. What these goofy ass names these young bros coming up with, man. I ain't about to keep saying Saweetie. You understand? Quavo been with Sweetie. And I don't know if she's a stripper. I don't know if she's just a singer. She a pretty sister. Quavo, of course, is the cat from the Migos. You know what I'm saying? And apparently they broke up. And the reason why they broke up is something that, real men understand. And a lot of you ladies out there, y'all think that you think that because we living in this new age that, your reputation doesn't mean anything. There's still some real men out there that ain't dealing with no hoes, man. And we ain't taking no disrespect. We're not about to tolerate a woman that don't know how to be a goddamn lady and don't know how to respect us and represent us when she out there in the goddamn streets. You know what I'm saying? Quavo broke up with her today, and the reason why Quavo broke up with her is because of some comments she made on a goddamn podcast that she did. You know what I'm saying? And this broad Sweetie used to mess with a cat named, I believe, Justin Combs, who was Diddy's son. And so she went on his podcast, and they was having conversations. And this statement that I'm about to play for y'all now is the reason why, after this interview, Quavo broke up with her. And they saying that Quavo broke up with her because of what she said in this interview that I'm about to play for y'all right now.
Another dude.
So a threesome, right?
You put him through
a threesome, right, ladies?
Threesome.
I normally talk to men who are cultured, who's been around the world, who know a lot of people.
Right. It's on you though.
No. I understand that, but because he's doing everything right, I'm going to give him the honor of picking the nigga who we gonna have a threesome with.
That's not a yes. That's a what? At another point, Combs began praising the cancers.
Now here's what's crazy, right? She on a radio interview. Now, okay, let me help y'all understand why that's such a problem, right? You my woman, you my lady, and I'm famous. And hell, maybe you famous than that, but you all right. Only reason why anybody want to interview you is because you with me. It's point blank period, bottom line. You my woman, that's why you popping, that's why people want to interview you. And if that's not the case, if that's not how you thinking as my woman, then you shouldn't be doing interviews. If in the front of your mind doing an interview, you're not thinking I'm here representing my man, then you shouldn't be doing interviews because you don't know how to watch your mouth. So that's first things first. She didn't know that she representing Quavo. Secondly, some man asked you would you have a threesome with me? Why the hell are you discussing with me and you doing our bedroom with anybody? Whose business is it if you would do a threesome or wouldn't do a threesome or any of that? Like, anybody ask you anything about what's going on in our bedroom, a lady gonna say, that's between me and my man. I ain't telling y'all nothing. And fellas, if you out there and you got women having threesomes and doing nasty things in the bedroom, then you can't be mad when she say she want to get a man in there. A lot of you fellas is nasty and disgusting. You got women licking on other women and, you know what I'm saying, doing nasty, freaky things with other women in the bedroom. Well, then guess what, brother? You teaching her that it's okay to be, you know, freak nasty and having threesomes and swapping juices. Listen, I'm a man. And I love a woman. And I love a woman so much that I'm not sharing a woman with nobody. I don't want two women at one time. No. Because I'm focused on this one here and I'm taking care of this business. Ain't nothing else in the way on my mind. I'm focusing on this here. You understand? And as a man, I mean, I don't know how y'all think. And you ladies out there that's, you know, you want to lick on other women. I don't know where the motivation for that comes from. But if there's a man involved, then I'm blaming the man. So fellas, you got these women out here doing all of this freak nasty lesbian stuff. You should be ashamed of yourself, and you turning these women into hoes. You exposing them to things that ain't natural. But without all of that, why the hell is you talking to anybody about what we do in the bedroom? That's whole shit. You a lady, man. What happens in the bedroom is a private matter between me and you and the walls and the covers and the air vents. Ain't nobody else supposed to know what's going on in our bedroom. But then, not only would you talk about what you willing to do in the bedroom, they ask you a question about a threesome and you gonna say that you would let your nigga get another nigga in there. So now you some hoe who want a train rain on you? You supposed to be my woman, but you done put it out there in the atmosphere that you would take two niggas at one time. You nasty, dirty hoe. And for you ladies, understand this. Here at Toxic Masculinity, we're against all, you know, unnatural, freaky deaky, nasty sex. If it ain't a man and a woman doing what they do, then it's unlawful. It's unrighteous, it's wicked as hell, and it leads to just all manner of confusion and problems, right? But for her to even put the idea out there that if she was down with the freaky deaky, was down with the nasty lesbianism and the threesome, she would want two niggas at one time? Now, Quavo listen, if you're a real man, the idea of another man doing anything with, around, in the presence of your woman is disgusting and nasty to you. And for this broad to say on a podcast with some niggas talking about threesomes that she would let her nigga get another nigga, you a hoe. You dismiss. You off the team. You know what I'm saying? You're fired. Here's your pink slip. You're done. A lot of you women might not understand that, but you need to understand it. This is how real men feel. This is what real men think. Ain't no real man tolerating the idea of you entertaining another nigga. For you to even open up your mouth and even say that you would be down for some shit like that, and let me know that you ain't with me. You ain't rocking with me, because I ain't claiming no hoe. A woman that say, you know what, I let my man bring another man in the bedroom with us, that let me know that you even got the idea in your mind, hoe. You done. You cut off. Because last thing, I'm a man that got a reputation. The last thing that's going to be said about me is I'm a rest haven for hoes. She want to have two niggas? Nah, baby girl, you go ahead. Have your two niggas, man. Not over here, you not. You not about to be seen out in public with me. We hugged up, you kissing on me, and people got the idea of you being with two niggas? Nah, I'm good on that. You know what I'm saying? And there once was a time where we as men, listen, man, if a broad was down for the train, then she just for the train. Nobody butting up the bitch down for the train. Nobody gonna make a relationship with the woman that trying to get a train ran on her. Nobody gonna make her their wife. Nah, I'm good on that. And I'm gonna tell y'all this, she could say she was joking or whatever, but the reason why she said that is because she may have had a train ran on her before. Or maybe she think about having a train ran on her. Even if she was just joking and it was just for ha-ha giggles. Bitch, you my woman. I'm Quavo. You Saweetie. You don't tell nobody nothing about what you do in the bedroom. And if she didn't know, now she know. And hopefully for Quavo's sake, he'll let her stay where she is. He'll give it back to the streets, man. From the streets she came, from the streets she shall return, because she don't know what to say out of her mouth. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you ladies, you need to learn that. If you don't know what to say, don't say nothing at all. Clearly, she ain't know what to say. She could have just said, nah, I ain't with no threesomes. You know what I'm saying? It's just me and my man. She could have said, nah, I don't get down with ladies. I'm not attracted to women in that kind of way. You could say, you know what I'm saying? But instead of her taking the righteous stance, the moral stance, she gonna what? Make it a joke? Or worse yet, you gonna tell the people that you think about having too many what? Yeah, I'm done. I'm good on all of that, y'all. You can take all of that and go wherever the hell you want to go with it. You understand? And she came all the way left at Quavo, and Quavo left her all the way right. You understand? And that's how you listen, man. This time that we living in, fellas, that's how you got to carry it, man. You can't let these women just be out here shaming you, bro. You can't let these women just be, talking all kind of crazy out the side of their neck. And that's what this woman did. She talked all kind of crazy out the side of her neck, and because of it, she done lost out on Quavo. No more Quavo for Saweetie, because Saweetie was a hoe. And y'all not gonna like it. Y'all gonna be mad at me. Y'all gonna say, man, Cap, you can't say that about Saweetie. She's just a woman and she was just expressing herself, and she thought she was trying to make it a joke. Well, hardy ha. Was it worth it? Did you get the laughs that you wanted? Because obviously to Quavo it wasn't funny. And I'm speaking as a man, and I understand where Quavo coming from. You don't play like that. You don't play like that, Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? I'm a grown ass man, and people know me, and I got a reputation. And you know what? I'm not a rest haven for hoes. You know what I'm saying? You can't even give the appearance of evil when you're dealing with a real man. You can't even, joke and play with certain things. And I'm sure that this sister she knows her man. She should know Quavo. She should have respected the position she was in, and she should have just said, nah, I ain't with none of that. It was between me and my man, I don't put my business out there. She thought it was a joke. She thought it was a game. Now she is by her goddamn self. Well, what y'all think? Y'all let me know. Because I know y'all gonna have, a whole lot to say about that. You know what I'm saying? But, man, crazy as hell. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But let me go ahead to this third video I had lined up for y'all tonight. Now, this is going to be a quick video, and I'll just touch on some of the things that are said. Now, again, this video...
This is some of everything that we have...
I believe that the narrator in this video is the sister, Shahrazad Ali. It's a sister who was around heavy in the late 80s, early 90s, speaking on issues, speaking on problems with the black family, particularly with black women. And it's about a minute, you know what I'm saying, of her discussing some of the compromises that black women made when they took on the mantle of being independent. And there's a lot of brothers today that don't know how to deal with, the independent women. And a lot of the reasons why brothers don't know how to deal with them is because of the concessions they made that we're going to hear in this video. When we come back from this video, I'm going to go ahead and just give a little bit of perspective on the situation that the independent black woman finds herself in and what it is that we must do as men in order to deliver these women from the compromise that they have made. Go ahead and play it right here.
This is some of everything that we have done or that we do daily that contributes to the breakup of our relationship, the destruction of our man, and the failure of our children to be able to function. They did not tell us that all of that, being my own person and I'm independent, would lead to separation, loneliness, celibacy, and lesbianism. They didn't tell us that if you give up the man, you're going to take one of these things and it's worse and it will destroy your nation. They didn't give us that information. They made us think that it was some kind of glorified position to brag about the fact that I got my own job, my own credit card, my own car, so I don't need no man. I don't even know how we got that mixed up. Ain't none of that got nothing to do with being with no man. Yeah, we have some serious relationship problems that nobody has been able to address us on because everybody wants to pretend that this is not going on. You know, over 60% of our women are single, widowed, separated, or divorced. They don't have a man.
And again, what the sister is highlighting there, again, is the compromise that black women made when they took on the mantle of being independent. They took on the mantle of, being, not needing a man. Let me separate the two. Right, here's what we have to understand as black men. When black women say that they're independent, they're not saying I don't need a man. When black women are saying I'm independent, they're saying there are some things that I feel like I can handle on my own. And I think that as men, we have to stop being offended by women saying that they're independent. Women say that they're independent not to offend you, but to make themselves feel better. And here's why women have to say that they're independent in order to feel better. Because there are not a lot of men who are protectors. There are not a lot of men who are defenders. There are not a lot of men who take on the mantle of being the hero, the good guy. You understand? Just the reality of where black men and black women are today. You don't hear a lot of black men walking around saying, I'm a protector. I'm a defender. I'm trying to think of not the opposite of an independent. Okay, what would be the opposite of an independent black woman? Right? Black woman says I'm independent. The opposite of that would be a black man saying, man. Okay, so the opposite of an independent woman would be a providing man. Providing black man. There's not a lot of brothers that walk around saying, I'm a providing black man. I provide for my woman, right? Because as men, here's why a lot of men get offended when they hear women say that they're independent. Because a woman saying that she's independent, men think of that in terms of money. And a woman being independent offends them because if she doesn't need me for my money, then she's saying she doesn't need me. A lot of men, their thing they bring to the table is financial security. It's them providing, them paying the bills. And there's a lot of men who use making money as a way to attract a woman. Here's what men don't understand, brother. If you making money is what attracts a woman to you, then there's a thin line between tricking and being a good man. A lot of these women think a good man is a nigga who's tricking. Which is why, if you ain't a trick, when a woman says, I'm an independent woman, it doesn't bother you. But if you're a man who's tricking, whose money means something when it comes to meeting a woman, then her saying I'm independent make you feel like, well, damn, well, so what? I can't shower you with this money. I can't win you over with gifts. I can't win you over with expensive dates. If that's how you win women over, brother, you tricking. A man like myself whose value does not lie in the dollar amount that's in my bank account, I love to hear a woman is independent. A woman saying I'm independent means I make my money. I don't need to depend on you for money. And I'm perfectly fine with that. You want to know why? Because the things that she does depend on me for, her money can't buy it. A woman's money cannot buy leadership. I don't care how much money she got. It can't buy a man who's going to care about where she's going in life, where she's headed. Her money can't buy guidance. Her money can't buy a nigga who will care enough to help her avoid pitfalls in her life. Help her to avoid falling into traps. Her money can't buy that. I don't care if, she's independent. Her money can't buy security. Her money can't buy her a position in a nigga's life who will lead her and guide her. I gotta provide her with a position in my life. I gotta choose her if she gonna have a position in my life. She can't buy a position. Your money you can't buy me. Even if I wanted to use you for your money, I could use your money and not care. Your position could be just give me your money, but that don't mean I'm gonna lead you and guide you. And there's a lot of women who, being independent, having money, they run into men who just use their money and use them up. Don't care about them, don't give a damn. Just take whatever they got to offer. A lot of women, these independent women, they willing to buy a man. What you think a cougar is? Niggas ain't getting with cougars that's broke. He's getting with cougars who got money. But if I'm that tricking, I don't mind her being independent because she can't buy leadership. She can't buy guidance. She can't buy security. She can't buy protection. How many women got money and live in a big house all by themselves? Independent, educated, got kids, and no man at home? You can't buy no protection. You can pay a security guard, but guess what? The security guard ain't gonna lead you and guide. You see what I'm saying? I get where I'm going. The independent black woman took on the mantle of, I got education, I got money, I got what I need. I can take care of myself. I can put a roof over my head. I can put clothes on my back. I can put food on my table. But you can't buy a man. You can't do what it takes to have a man. And so if you're a man who knows your value, who knows your worth, who does the work to build yourself up, to be the kind of man that's desirable to an independent woman, then her financial independence doesn't bother you, because you know the things that you bring to the table, she's not going to find out there in the world. And when that woman who's independent financially meets you, she'll see your value and say, you know what? I can't let this nigga go. So this education I got, this money I got, it doesn't matter. I'll still submit to him. I'll still, reciprocate what he's providing. If you're a man, you bring leadership to the table, a woman will follow. If you bring guidance to the table, she'll do things your way and not her way. And if she chooses to do things her way, not knowing that she should trust you, when she makes a mistake or when things don't go in her favor, you'll say, see, baby, now you told her. See, I tried to tell you what to do. And next time, eventually, she'll say, you know what, daddy, you was right. You provide protection, she'll realize that she's vulnerable. She needs to be protected. She'll let you be the big, strong man in her life. If you provide her security, give her a place, and make sure she understands her role and knows her position in your life, then she'll relish in that position. She'll relish in that role. She'll be every bit of what you require her to be. And when she does that, you'll say, you know what, baby, I appreciate you. I'm thankful for you. I'm glad I got you in my life because you everything that I need for a woman to be. And she'll grow and she'll fulfill that role. And then you'll constantly reassure her that the bad days when things ain't going your way, when she mad, you'll say, no, it's okay, baby, it'll be all right. Hell, a lot of these women that's educated with money, they don't know how to spend their money. They blowing a bag. You meet a woman, she independent, I'm not coming up north, no money for nothing. You independent. Hell, we go on a date, we going Dutch, or you treat me. Hell, maybe I'll treat if I'm in the mood, but you independent. You don't need me to pay for your dinner, you pay your own dinner. That's what comes with being independent. Now, if you're not independent, then you got to throw that independent talk out the window, baby girl. If you're dependent, then you got to just go ahead and be dependent. But I don't mind a woman that's independent because, hey, you said you're independent, that means you're financially secure. Now, once you get with a woman and you in her life providing leadership, guidance, protection, security, and you see that she don't know what the hell she's doing with that money, well, when things go bad, you can let her know, baby, it's going to be all right. But you know what? You're going to have to hand me that money because I want to make sure these bills is paid and I'm going to make sure that you budgeting properly because I see you don't know what you're doing. You can't, every time we go out to eat, you can't even pay your half of the bill. What happened to all your money you got? or you spent it on them shoes, or you spent it on them nails, or you spent it on that dress. Well, you know what? I don't need you to buy a new dress for me to take you to dinner because, I ain't seen your wardrobe. You should put on some of them clothes that you've been had, wear some of them shoes that you got already. And if you don't know how to spend your money, here, let me help you do it the right way. And as a man, if you're leading a woman and guiding her, you ain't gonna take her money and just get fresh and not pay her bills. She gonna put that money in your hand, and you are going to do what? You're gonna make her feel good about putting the money in your hands, cause the bills is paid, everything taken care of, and she happy. She ain't got to worry no more. Now she ain't got to stress about this money. But she got a real man in her life. And she couldn't buy it with her money. She couldn't buy it with her education. She had to submit in order to have a good man in her life, and that's why those of us men who want our game, we don't mind an independent woman. A lot of you fellas out there don't know how to be a man. So when a woman says she independent, you threatened by it. You ashamed. You feel like, that you got to compete. And I got to compete with nothing. Woman is not my competition. My competition is myself. Because I ain't in no competition with no woman. I love a woman. A woman love me. I don't compete with her. I'm not trying to be, hell, if I'm leveling up, then I'm going to level my woman up. If I'm improving and becoming better, then I'm going to say, hey, baby, this is what we need to do. And I'm going to make her improve and make her better. A lot of you men don't know how to do that, which is why when a woman says she independent, you take it to mean she don't need you. A woman can be independent all she wants. She can't buy what I bring to the table. And that's why I don't mind it. But for a lot of women out there, like I said, for a lot of you fellas, a woman saying she's independent is not a disrespect to you. A woman saying she's independent is to make herself feel better. The reason why she needs to feel better is because there's not a lot of men out there saying, I'm a provider. Here's, you know what I'm saying? A lot of men aren't out there saying, a woman ain't got to worry about nothing if she get with me. Now, women recognize niggas that's tricking. And here's the thing. The reason why women became independent is because the men who tricked off, meaning they just paid money and gave a woman money and she just ain't had to do nothing and he gave all the money. A lot of those men subjugated those women to things that they did not want to bear with and deal with. And a lot of those women, from the 60s and 70s felt like, I'm broke and ain't got no money and he got all the money, so I got to just take whatever he says and does. And a lot of men, when they was making all the money, they subjected women to some horrible things. You know what I'm saying? Now, the horrible is subjective, but in the women's minds, it was horrible. It was a horrible time to be broke and not be able to make no money in the 60s and 70s. So as soon as the white man came and said, well, you can go get your job or get your welfare, women jumped for the welfare and got rid of the man. Now, a lot of women a lot of men told their women, get their welfare, get that money. You know what I'm saying? But didn't realize that they were selling themselves down a hole that they would not be able to recover from. Let's not forget the same time that America came with that independent woman mentality that they instilled in black women, they also put the men on drugs. There was a war in Vietnam. They were shutting down all of the factories in our communities and taking away all of the black businesses and the black jobs. They destroyed our economy while simultaneously giving our women government assistance, which made the women think they didn't need a man. But women have never stopped needing men, even today. These women in 2021 desperately need a man. Even the ones who saying they independent and don't need a man, need a man. If you are a man who knows your value and knows your worth beyond what you can do financially for a woman, then you won't have a problem with an independent woman. Because an independent woman is just a woman who's telling me that she doesn't need me to pay her bills. And I'm not here to pay your bills. But I am here to lead you, guide you, protect you, secure you, and reassure you. With that, Captain Sakawar, this has been Toxic Masculinity. We do it up live every Friday night, man, from about 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Normally run about an hour and a half, you know what I'm saying? Tonight we ran a little bit long, but I appreciate y'all for joining me. Again, Brothers and sisters, you got any questions, man, any comments, anything y'all want me to cover on the show, you can catch me at angryblackmanmedia@gmail.com on YouTube or for Gmail, or Angry Black Man Media on Facebook. Hit me in the DMs, let me know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? If you need some assistance, some guidance, some counseling, just holler at me. We can set up a private session or something like that. And with that, I will see y'all next week. I am out live on Toxic Masculinity.